I'll go and send you a picture, Doc. Explain this redness to me. I'm sending you a picture right now. Producer, go and send it to you also. Look at this. I have a lot more things to send you now. Look at what I sent you, Dr. Hunt, on your phone. Can you explain this redness that is on her feet? Producer, put it up when you get a chance as well. Look at it, Dr. Hunter. All
All
right?
right. Give me a second. I'm gonna turn this down to low, 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 low. Look at this, a beautiful girl with a beautiful baby,
Mm.
and another Jodie and Ferron in the making. Another Jodie and Ferron. God bless Jodie and Ferron. God
Mm.
bless Keisha McGowan, 17-year-old Katie student. May God accept her into his eternal kingdom.
Doc, I remember when you were on the program the
So,
last time.
looking at it now,
You see the redness is on her foot or her foot?
Andre, go to Andre. All right. Well, it's definitely that looks like, is that the arm
That's her leg.
or the leg?
Her leg.
Yeah, there's redness in the leg. You can see there's ecchymotic, we call ecchymosis, redness. So the
Echemo.
features of inflammation, which can be caused by infection or trauma of different things,
Mm.
is redness. Now, did they use vancomycin on this lady? If they use vancomycin on this lady, they have to use an infusion pump because vancomycin you cannot infuse rapidly or to get a red man or vancomycin infusion syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
which is deadly. It destroys the skin. So I'm seeing the redness. So this infection is spreading all over her body. If you turn and look on her back, you're going to see it.
So this that you're seeing on the foot.
So this could possibly be vancomycin infusion syndrome, that they don't have an infusion pump, they don't have a central line, they don't have a control as what is for 6 months, for God's sake. There are so many general surgeons at Spanish Town.
No, it was Jubilee.
There are so many gynecologists at Spanish Town,
It was at Jubilee, Doc.
and they have
Jubilee.
access to infectious diseases. Why in the world can they explain why she's like that? They can't explain it.
When I went there also, Doc, her foot was tied and her hand was tied to the bed. Why would her foot and her hand be tied to the bed? What was happening?
Then another feature of sepsis. What happened with sepsis is that it not only remains in your lungs and abdomen and vein, it can get into the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And she could have had a blood clot in her lungs,
Mm.
and low oxygen levels will make her brain confused. So she's twisting and ripping out the things out of her arms. So they tie her down like in slavery days.
Mm.
So that it can say they're treating her. They could have put her in a what we call a safe box. We used to do it in England for patients who are unsafe,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't tie patients down in England. We have to put them in a safe zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the nurses have to work round the clock.
Doc, also, when I was there, I sent you the suction machine, remember? But equally,
Yes, the suction machine is absolutely important. But why is she leaking out so many things?
she was leaking a lot, Doc. You know, I spoke to you in confidence about the things I saw.
Yeah, once I say a suction machine, we know what it is for. She is oozing and oozing and oozing and oozing.
There was no sign of a ventilator. What I saw was them have a little pump thing with a little air, and every little second they would have put that over, like over her mouth, say that them
Right. So
pumping.
that could, well, if she was there a tube inside her mouth,
Miss,
inside her mouth?
Miss see them have one little something like when you would have been at the dentist, and
It's inside. Was it a circular tube, or was it like something with a flange?
it would look like a vacuum. You know, the like where you the dentist court near you have the vacuum to
So
suck up the water.
that means they intubated her.
Hmm.
I hope the intubation was correct and not in her esophagus.
But doc,
And they had no ventilator machine. They could have reached out to me for a ventilator machine. I'll be more than happy to lend them a ventilator machine.
so but
I
doc,
have
mm-hmm.
14 40-foot containers on the wharf with probably at least 40 ventilators.
My God.
And the government of Jamaica, including Christopher Tufton, because of his ways, let's put it this way, because of his ways,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because he was rejected by his father,
Lord God, doc. Mhm.
I don't know, but because of his ways, he did not intervene to command the director to say to customs, let these equipment go, because some of them are, I'm going to give them to Port Maria and give them to Anatomy at
Mm.
my cost, free of cost to government. They just need to come and pick it up.
Doc,
But infection, the minute
a
you see it,
case in
you
a
jump
case
on it. The
in a
IV
case
line,
like Tyane, she was not in an isolation unit. Isn't that negligent?
not good. That's not good. Especially if the profile of the bacteria are highly resistant. She needs to be isolated. Suppose the Proteus mirabilis or the Enterococcus faecalis is highly resistant, multi-resistant. She
Mm.
needs to be isolated.
So you're telling me that she could also have been infected or the other mothers,
Infected heart.
because where she was, all of the mothers has to pass her to get to their beds, you know. So
Not
is
just that, the
mm,
doctors and the same doctors and nurses going bed to bed.
doc, when I was there, the only thing I saw them doing right was when Tyane died and they put her in a body bag.
Almighty God. Almighty God.
The only thing that they did right was the procedure of putting her in a body bag.
This government needs to accept and say to Jamaica, I am sorry. I have failed you. I have attacked people who I should not attack. I have attacked people who were helping you.
Mhm.
I got the top of my class in medicine and therapeutics.
Yes, we know that, doc.
Andrew Manning was at the bottom of the class.
All right, doc. We're
The
not getting
Dons.
doc.
The Dons is apartheid.
Doc. We're not getting
And
that part
Andrew Manning
tonight.
telling Andrew Holness what to do.
I understand.
I talked to all the show. I talked to Michael Phillips. I talked to anybody we can talk to. Remember, I treat COVID, no oxygen.
Mm.
Come back to Tyane. She has infection that got out of hand. She
Mhm.
could have a pulmonary embolus, a blood clot to her lung.
Mhm.
We don't know because we don't have a CT pulmonary angiogram.
Mhm.
She could have the need for blood transfusion.
Mhm.
So there's a problem in the abdomen, but it don't stay there. So she should have a tracheostomy.
What would you tell her mother to do tonight, Dr. Hunter?
Consider her position. There
Come.
is my neighbor, Jean. Her real name is Jennifer Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Her esophagus was intubated at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
She spent 10 years non-stop in the ICU of the University Hospital of the West Indies.
10 years.
Tavares Finster told me he would never go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she died.
10 years in
She
ICU.
lost her baby and she lost her life because they intubated her esophagus. Her brain was completely hypoxic. Just
Oh,
like Mr. Bell from Toyota, Jamaica. He was the husband, the white husband of the manager for Toyota, Jamaica. Mrs. Bell is completely a zombie.
wow.
This neurosurgeon or surgeons disconnected the ventilator from Mr. Bell
What?
when it's a known problem with the surgery. It's as if the alarm don't mean nothing to him.
What?
Mr. Bell's brain was permanently damaged and it was killed, starved of oxygen, and he was sent to University Hospital
Mm-hmm.
to die, where he died in 3 weeks. Mrs. Bell should consider her position. There are so many cases, cesarean, cesarean sections, circumcision, infected this, infected that. The consultants need to round twice a day.
No, doc.
That is the standard. That is the international standard.
But, doc, this is serious.
Listen, bad healthcare not only happen in the public sector, but it
Mm-hmm.
happen in the independent sector. I don't like to call it private hospitals. It also happens there. Lazarus Buckner died at Andrews 2 weeks ago. A man from the Jamaica Chambers of Commerce. Andrews never have a suction machine.
What?
That's why I call it the devil's hospital. It's a demonic hospital.
What?
You notice the Governor General never went there.
Hmm.
You notice?
Why, doc?
Tyane should be alive today. Jennifer Johnson should have been alive today. Her docket was deliberately hidden. And her docket, can picture somebody in ICU for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Picture the cost to the public. Picture how many other people cannot get into ICU because of Jennifer Johnson. Killing hundreds of people, if not thousands, during her protracted stay there. And they lost her docket. How can you lose a docket that has writings that are 10 years old? You need a 18-wheel container truck to take out that docket.
Doc, there was 6 liters of fluid in her abdomen. How did 6 liters of fluid end up in her abdomen?
Well, the abdomen reacts to things that not supposed to be there. It reacts to poisons such as swabs, foreign bodies. It reacts to the bowel being compromised and it not being there. Or it can react to multi-organ failure from the sepsis. So in multi-organ failure,
Mm-hmm.
one of the organs that take a hit are the kidneys.
Yes.
And if the kidneys are not working, her abdomen is going to have 6 or more liters of fluid. This is basic. This is medicine 101.
So
It is that simple.
in all fairness, you're saying tonight Miss Claudette should consider her position. Do you agree that she?
Absolutely.
Do you agree that
Who gonna look after that baby? In England, she would have gotten at least £1 million.
in England she would get at least £1 million?
Not unless you see the man who AstraZeneca vaccine mash him up.
Mm-hmm.
Him have him two little youth, and him have him picnic for look at him wife to care for. He's like a invalid.
Mm-hmm.
That AstraZeneca, the government of England offered £120,000. That cannot look after you for 30 years. He got a multi-million-dollar pound loss settlement. Look at Kenneth Moore. Kenneth Moore, a surgeon with a lemon-sized tumor on top of his head.
Kenneth
To
Moore,
the
the
side.
Deputy Prime Minister of Jamaica, the former Deputy Prime.
And the surgeon, one of ours, they did him awake, and the man could not wake up after surgery.
Mm.
The CT scan, guess what happened to it at Huey? One guess.
Mm.
It broke down. So they had to put him in a minibus. I don't call it ambulance. They had to put him in a minibus, drive him down Old Hope Road, to go to Bruce Golding's brother, Trevor Golding, to do a CT scan to tell him that he bled on the brain.
Wow.
Carry him back up to University Hospital. Ren Holness, Ivor Crandon, and Peter Charles operated on Ken Ball. Why do you need 3 neurosurgeons to operate on a lemon-sized tumor? And the Prime Minister said, I want to congratulate the surgeons of university for doing such an amazing job. It was a lie.
Mighty God.
Ken Ball was in a coma for a week.
Ken Ball, the deputy.
He never walked or talked again for the rest of his life.
What?
And irony of ironies, I cannot believe the government of Jamaica gave Ren Holness, which he says in his affidavit is the highest civilian award in Jamaica. Every basic school student know that the Order of National Hero is so him calling himself a national hero. So he's truly a narcissist.
Doctor
him, Ivor Crandon, who cannot produce his bona fides, yet his classmate can, and his boss, Dr. Leramo, can. And up till now, the police can't arrest him. 35 years of being missed. 35 years. I worked on that man's patient, and he never gave me a dime. We used to have to start the war drone on where? Tony Twait's wing. Let the poor suffer. When me there KPH, the man call me.
Stay tuned for more PDTV News evening highlights. Remember to show your support. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.